Ain't no more feud.
What the fuck he doing? I'm having a drink to forget about it.
Did he do it, right?
Yes,
I know
It did.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to the party.
Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes on other people, write songs.
With 50 Cent at the pinnacle of his career, it's no wonder that he and Diddy have had a nasty feud for a very long time. However, some hip-hop fans have begun to imply that 50 may be using Diddy to gain influence or to remain relevant in the rap industry in the wake of Diddy's recent legal triumph. And there seems to be a piece of the puzzle that we are all still attempting to solve somewhere in between the history and the headlines. According to a conspiracy theory in the underground rap scene, Diddy may have snitched on 50 Cent to the authorities in the early 2000s to protect himself and his record label. However, there were other rumors circulating in the streets at the time. Diddy allegedly assisted the cops in wiretapping 50 Cent's phone, which set off a chain of events that resulted in turmoil and catastrophe. But the legal dispute was never centered on 50 Cent. He was caught in the crossfire by accident. This is the point at which things began to move differently. Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, Murder Inc., and pretty much anyone approaching the Supreme Team were already targets for the feds. But loyalty was crucial in those days when the streets were congested. No one was prepared to turn on the government and no one was snitching. Therefore, law enforcement had to find another route when they were unable to obtain anything from the inside. People began claiming that they went in search of a wild card at that point. Only one person at the time had more than enough knowledge to assist the authorities in this case. This is when the idea that Diddy was involved in the case enters the picture. Diddy nearly lost both Bad Boy Records and his career in 1999 due to a major court fight. He had been involved in a shooting at a Manhattan nightclub with JLO and Shine.
A shooting rang out at the then popular club New York. Shine was with Diddy, known then as Puffy, his girlfriend at the time.
Diddy was detained as a result of the incident, which was more bizarre than anticipated.
The truth, sometimes it hurts. Right. It hurts people and they don't want to hear that shit, but I'm trying to tell you, it's me, because he take me shopping and it me up because I'm looking like, I want to take you shopping.
He faced a severe jail term after being accused of bribery and possessing firearms. It was clear to everyone that Diddy would lose all he had fought for, including Bad Boy Records, if he were to go to jail at that point. It was evident from that kind of pressure that he needed to maintain his legal compliance.
Rap star Sean Puffy Combs is free on bail after he and his girlfriend, entertainer Jennifer Lopez, were arrested
By any means required. Even after he won the lawsuit, they continued to keep an eye on him. Diddy was aware of the time. The bad guy was going down with him if he ever got involved in anything dodgy again, especially gang-related or street-related activities. People claimed that it became a matter of saving yourself or sinking with the ship when the cops allegedly knocked seeking inside information.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now.
There are also rumors that 50 Cent was first asked by the police to be their informant, but he was either hiding something or was too devoted to the game to comply. However, this was never verified. Therefore, it appeared that Diddy had consented to play the
I went and I sought out professional help. Now they're going to therapy, they're going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry.
Furthermore, 50 wasn't quite clean either. He had already argued with members of the Supreme Team a few years prior to the entire Wiretap controversy. That action put him right back in the trenches for 2 solid years and almost lost him his life. Ghetto Quran, a popular song that 50 Cent recorded in 2000, essentially exposed every secret in the rap business. Furthermore, as everyone knows, 50 Cent never gives up on a project. He listed the names of those engaged, including hustlers, drug lords, and Queen's crew members. However, one name in particular caught my attention in the song: Supreme. Just prior to its release, the song was leaked on mixtapes. Supreme listened to it. And that was the beginning of the end for 50. Dry snitching, like 50 had done with the Ghetto Quran, was strictly forbidden by the street code back then. 50 Cent had to pay the price for violating the most significant street rule. There were claims that Supreme called the hit as retaliation for Ghetto Quran after 50 Cent was shot 9 times outside his grandmother's home later that year.
I got, shot 9 times, but it was one time. And I just didn't see the person coming, or I would have avoided it.
Although the hit was not officially reported by the police, the message it conveyed was obvious. The hit goes to the snitches. Although he was surprisingly unharmed, 50's career was in ruins. Nobody wanted to collaborate with him. Everyone reacted against him, including Diddy, who had been working with him prior to the shooting incident. DJ stopped playing his mixtapes, and his record company dropped him. And this portion made matters worse just when folks felt they couldn't go much worse. Diddy was known for supporting his people, particularly struggling East Coast artists. However, the man fell silent at 50, no public support. People began to raise their eyebrows at that silence. Some admirers suggested that he might have been merely attempting to preserve his reputation and keep from being blackballed like 50. Others began to speculate that he might have already made a deal and was assisting the cops. Subtle.
With 13, what were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
After a few years, he battled to get back on track in his 50s. The Ja Rule of Supreme Team Murder, Inc., and all of its members were under investigation by the police. In order to file a formal lawsuit against Murder Inc., they required insider knowledge. However, no one was strong enough or willing to oppose the cartel. Unexpectedly, a few months later, evidence began to circulate, including covert chats and phone call recordings. What should have been top-secret gang intel had somehow gotten to the hands of the cops. And this could only have occurred in one way. The cops were able to wiretap 50 Cent's phone and the entire Supreme squad thanks to an insider who had snitched. The phones of nearly every team member were tapped. And this provided the authorities with a wealth of evidence against Murder Inc. and the Supreme Team, including confidential discussions regarding drug money, money laundering, and executing hits. However, it was more than that. During these tap phone calls, 50 Cent's name was also mentioned.
Watch the door, don't let nobody come through here. And I said I watched the door. If I watched the door and him and a man ran out naked, and I said that, ain't nobody told me that.
Nobody was able to identify the perpetrator or explain why 50 Cent was involved in a fight that wasn't his. And it appeared to be a blatant case of setup. Fans began to make connections after observing a few odd events from Diddy's end, even though no formal police record was made public to identify the informant. His silence on the shooting of 50 Cent had initially raised suspicions, but not enough to label him a snitch. Thus, things began to make sense when the setup hypothesis was introduced. His legal cases then completely vanished. Nearly immediately, he was exonerated of all prior allegations. That wasn't all, though. His group also began to shift.
Got the same outfit.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's a nice shirt. That's a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line, in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we gotta hang out now. Like, hang out. Yeah. He said, I don't know, man. I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the way.
Diddy moved toward his corporate side of music in a way, from the ghetto side, which included his old pals. He inked brand agreements with MTV, Cyrec, and a few more companies. By this time, it was obvious that Diddy had a motive for quitting street rap. Therefore, Diddy was subtly making audacious movements as a Ja Rule. 50 Cent and Supreme faced the heat from the cops and suffered losses. However, his actions ultimately led to his being labeled a snitch.
Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes on other people, write songs on other people's albums, on his album, and taking their talents and stealing their publishing.
Because he had a strong team of qualified attorneys and legal advisors, fans began to wonder if he had suddenly changed his ways and dropped the charges. To get freedom for himself and his record label, he allegedly turned in his old circle to the authorities. However, there is yet no hard evidence that Diddy collaborated with the police to set up 50 Cent and the Murder Inc. organization as a whole. However, 50's public outbursts of animosity toward Diddy have taken a whole different direction after he got over that stage. Murder Inc. suffered for some time as a result of the numerous police investigations and charges. They also lost their footing as circumstances deteriorated over time. In contrast, 50 Cent made it out and hasn't stopped expressing his distaste for Diddy. As everyone is aware, Diddy was recently the target of a protracted and astounding lawsuit alleging a variety of offenses, including money laundering, prostitution and human trafficking, racketeering, and sexual assault. The only individual who has openly expressed how much he enjoys seeing Diddy suffer is 50 Cent, despite the fact that all of these may seem awful. 50's desire to see Diddy fail has never been greater, from the announcement of the trial to each and every trial day. And among the many explanations 50 Cent has made in public, people are beginning to think that one of the main causes of this may have been the Wiretap incident.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
It's a special birthday for both of us.
We probably could have owned a couple of basketball teams, a couple of football teams by now. And we was all in. Puffy said, well, I'm not worried about Astor and all these people I see.
Or did Diddy do it? Is a documentary series that explores Diddy's alleged full crimes and lawsuit, in addition to the endless AI memes that continue to make waves on Instagram. It's clear that 50 Cent is enjoying himself immensely as he watches Diddy face widespread censure. As the leader of Diddy's hatred bandwagon, he doesn't appear to be going anywhere anytime soon. Since then, he has really gained the reputation of being the world's biggest Diddy hater. Many people were surprised to see that Diddy was only charged with 5 of the many allegations that were brought against him. This means that he now has a better chance of being acquitted, and some of his followers have been celebrating his release. The news is not being well received by another group of people. 50C is one of these individuals. 50 Cent has done a wonderful job of exploiting the trial to vent his enduring animosity for Diddy. However, now that Diddy might be out on the streets, and the accusations against him have been dropped, the petty king of rap would probably have to stop his public hatred.